You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars and by Wellington Anti-Aging. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Well, here we go, Monday. Welcome to Kevin's Other Show. Ricky Bobby Diener in here with me today.
Yep.
Coming off of what was a pretty solid little sports Sunday yesterday.
Yeah, it turned out to be pretty good, I think.
Had her both cranking on the TVs. I was down in Greece on Clematis, kind of checking out both. And you had World Cup on one TV, had Wimbledon on the other.
I was going to say, you were in Greece yesterday? You got back already?
Yes.
You never know with this guy, man.
I know. That's why I believed you.
A lot of events, a lot of appearances.
World traveling, baby.
That's right.
World traveling.
Didn't you have a bunch of like beer stuff you did this Friday and everything too?
Yeah, well, we got beer stuff all this week. I am on Wednesday going to be out because, we got the Palm Beach Summer Beer Fest coming up on Saturday.
Yes.
The brew.
So until then, oh my gosh. Saturday I was at Matthews Brewing and went there for a couple hours. We're doing half-price tickets to the Beer Fest. And their beer is just so good. Unfortunately, I got to drink way too much of it. And then I decided, a great idea. I'm like going, you know what? We're going to go due south because they're making our KVJ beers. I'm like going, it's already got to be made. I'm like, let's see if we can get a little sneak peek.
Sure.
What this thing's all about. And went there, and it's in some cauldron somewhere, however they call those things. And, they can't really track it down. But then they're going, hey, Kev, we'll throw a couple beers at you. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So it's like their beer's fantastic.
Oh,
so I got to... Yeah, just, got away from me. So that was Saturday. And then Wednesday at Brother Jimmy's. Thursday at Copper Blues.
You got a full week.
Saturday, Palm Beach Summer Beer Fest. Yeah, it's
so don't expect much out of you this week is what we're saying.
It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. Thank God I actually saw there was this study that they did. And, I need these to kind of like balance out my guilt. And they did this study with 1,600 nonagenarians, which is people over the age of 90. And they said people who drank 2 glasses of beer or wine a day in this study improved their odds of living longer than those who abstained by about 18%. So all I'm doing on the weekends is this week I'm extending my life.
That's right. Contrary to popular belief.
And meanwhile, Diener's going to die next Wednesday.
He will. At this rate, I'm going to live to be 1,000.
Yeah. Because you're slowly pickling yourself.
Oh, my gosh.
It'll last forever.
It was just unbelievable. Then I look at this week. It's a daunting task.
It is.
Part of me is just like, oh, man. Wow.
It's going to help you live longer, though, so that's good.
Yeah, we'll see.
In the long run.
I tell you, World Cup, man, it kind of turned into a little bit of a blowout. I mean, it started off okay, but you knew things weren't going to go well for Croatia because didn't they kind of score the first goal on themselves? I mean, I think it went off a Croatian guy's head.
It did, yeah.
He did a header into his own goal. I'm like going, I don't know a lot about soccer, but I think that's bad, right?
Yeah. Is he still alive? Do we know this?
So far, he's still alive.
I don't think Croatia is one of those countries. I think Croatia is pretty peaceful, right?
Yeah, for the most
Croatia's
part.
pretty corrupt politically.
Is it
are?
really?
Yeah.
You
very
mean that
corrupt
hot
politically.
blonde chick in the bikini is corrupt?
Yeah,
Is that true? Really?
The organizations for soccer there are really corrupt. Everything's run through money. They don't have youth leagues there. Like they don't pay attention to it that much.
Well, I mean, you and I are older than the country of Croatia, so I mean, they're just getting things started. To be fair, right?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you got to hustle in order to be able to do so.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, their first World Cup was the first year that France actually won their first World Cup.
Right, 98.
And, yeah,
Yeah, and just you were saying Detroit has more people than Croatia. That's not true. Michigan has more people than Croatia.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you for clarifying
Yeah.
that. Because it didn't sound
Diener,
right there.
false facts.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. I looked it
Sorry.
up over the weekend, and I was like, he can't be right. And I
No.
was right. You were wrong. Yeah.
I love how you just have this French music on demand, by the way. Like, how does that happen?
Oui, oui. I've got that playlist for you.
You want to go into the bathtub?
In fact, I have a fun little game for us here today.
Oh, man.
Diener has written down the top 8 teams from this year's World Cup, and he's going to pull one out here, and he's going to do an impression of what they sound like in that country.
Okay.
I don't want to do this.
Our job here, Ricky Bobby, is to identify the country. Now, I mean, you can cheat and know that it's going to be one of the 8
Yeah.
final
You
countries
just
that we have there.
start dwindling them down.
Yeah.
I'm just very happy for myself that I started doing accents very early on in the show, so you knew that I was not the one to be able to do this. Mm-hmm. That I probably would do this pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, a little behind the scenes here. You approached me with this idea earlier today.
Yeah.
And my response to you was, I am terrible at accents. And you kind of figured that was the case.
I'm like,
So
that's what I was banking on.
That was really what I was hoping for.
So it's
Perfect.
it's gonna be really bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Diener's going to pull out.
Oh, we're doing this now?
All right, let's get it going.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't want
let's
you to have time to think about it.
Pull off the Band-Aid.
Yeah. Okay. Pull out a piece of paper there.
All right. I'm not looking at it. I'm shuffling them up.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm feeling good about this one I have in my hand.
Okay, I'll be
Okay.
honest. I do not know the final 8 teams.
Okay. that's
So
fine.
I'm going to be very in the dark on a lot.
You know,
of it.
France played Croatia.
I know those
Okay.
two.
You just say what you think it is. You get one chance. If you're wrong, you're out.
You got it.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. I'm gonna open this up. My heart is pounding right now. Oh no, Belgium.
Well,
Well, you know,
Oh wait, I can't tell you guys.
not only is he bad at accents, but he's also bad at playing games.
oh my gosh.
Is it Belgium? I think I got that one right. That's one for me,
Well,
Kev.
this is starting off as about as well as I thought. Well, there we go.
All right.
Wow.
All right, well, now you
Let's-
got to give us the Belgium accent. I mean, since you've done that.
Oh,
I guess this
no.
is our spotter one. This is our example.
So this is a practice round.
Yeah.
Practice round. A Belgium accent.
Yeah.
There's, Kevin, this is me speaking Belgium.
Belgiumese, is that what you're going to say? This is really going to borderline on possibly being racist. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. All right, what's your next one here?
and
I
again,
looked up and I saw your
And
reaction.
don't.
Don't look at it. I can't say it out loud.
all right, let's
Okay.
try this again. Let's
Here we
reboot.
Uno mas.
Let's
Okay.
reboot here. Okay,
Oh, I'm
Rick
sweating.
Diener doing impressions
Okay.
from final now 7 World Cup teams.
Yes, 7.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
had this nightmare before, and it's now coming true. Okay.
see what you got here.
I've read it in my mind. I'm not saying it out loud.
Yes, let's not.
Good, Captain
right.
Tourette's.
Belgium? Oh, wait.
Unbelievable.
All right, let's hear this impression.
All right. I'm not even sure how to do this one. All right.
Well, you didn't do it last one very well.
I think you were from
Don't let
Italy
it
last
stop
time.
you. Yeah.
Yes, we played very well today, and I passed the ball well, and that's all I got.
Okay,
That's all I
Germany.
got. No,
That's my guess.
way off.
What do you have, Ricky Bobby?
Was Spain in there?
They were not in the final 8. No.
Oh, I don't even know the final 8.
Do you want some more of it?
No, just tell me the country. I've had enough.
Yeah, I know. Brazil. That was Brazil.
That was Brazil.
Yeah.
Can we just try one more? I'm just very.
Of
I want to
course,
try
yeah. No,
one
we're gonna try.
more.
We're gonna try a few more here. We're gonna see if we
Okay.
can get if you can someone get close to any of these. Okay, here we go.
All right, I only have 6 left.
Diener
This is gonna end.
doing World Cup impressions.
Oh gosh, this is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We know.
All right.
Okay, I think I'm gonna nail this one.
All right,
Yeah, you've been in on it so far.
Yeah. Very, very good so far.
let's go.
Oh yes, we passed very well
French.
today. Yeah, Kevin got
Oh
it.
yeah, baby.
like
When
that
he,
one.
when he said "we" twice,
Okay.
we passed very well.
Okay.
I think it's the right context for that, but
Here we go. Give us another one.
All right.
Come on. Give
I
us
think I
another
found
one.
my comfort zone is
Yeah,
French.
it took you a minute to warm up there.
Yeah.
You start off horribly, but you've gotten to
really
progressively
bad,
bad.
like train wreck.
Yeah.
If it's better
It's got
than
from horrendous to awful.
yes, I'll take any improvement. I will take anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the next one. Oh, jeez. Well, we found the holes in the
Russia.
defense. No.
Gosh.
I was
going
gonna say
Russia.
Russia too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, all right. I
Okay,
got
keep
them
going. Give him a
Keep
little bit
going?
more.
Okay. Yes. The field was a little slippery today.
all. Croatia. Is
That'd
it
be my
not?
next guess.
No, it's not.
You thought it was like Eastern Bloc there.
That's
No.
what I was
I'm
gonna
need
say,
to
it's like
change my shirt after this.
Eastern
I'm
Europe.
Sweating through my shirt right now.
What was that?
You want to know what it is?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Uruguay.
Instead of Eastern European.
Uruguay.
I would have been like, is Norway in there?
South America,
I don't know,
right?
Switzerland?
Yes.
Oh my
South
gosh.
America.
Okay, final one.
I warned you. I'm really bad.
Last one. Last one here.
Here we go.
Okay.
You should listen to him when he warns you about
Yeah.
things like this.
I'm gonna kill this one.
Oh well, you killed everyone
Yeah.
so far. I didn't expect anything less.
Yes, he should be arrested.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh yes, we drank our way to the field today.
Germany.
Is that Germany?
Oh,
How is it not Germany? What'd you put
What was
drinking
that?
in there for?
What was
it's
that?
Russia. I'm thinking vodka.
Oh,
Drinking
I guess
vodka.
so.
Gosh, wow. He actually is worse than I thought he was going to be. I was expecting bad. I'm like, he really actually outdid himself.
Yeah.
That was, and
usually
boy.
do.
And that start was unbelievable, too.
Can't make that stuff up.
Okay. All right. Well, luckily, we don't have to do that for another 4 years.
Thank God.
Yeah. Tonight, you got the Home Run Derby going on. It is All-Star Week. And let you know some interesting stats from baseball's first half, the good and the awful. Plus, some Marlins optimism I've got for you. The numbers on the Marlins actually not bad. I'll tell you why next.
It's Derek Jeter's favorite sports show, just like Derek Jeter is Florida's favorite owner. Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Is there any kind of excitement over tonight's Home Run Derby?
I'll watch like 10 minutes of it, see how Bryce Harper does in D.C.
That's really about it. I mean, it's names that do it. Kind of an underwhelming lineup that they got here.
Well, I think this is what, the second year they've started doing this new format where they were doing the timer and everything. Is the second year they're doing it?
Yes, that's right. Now,
So-
is it changed or are they doing the same thing?
They're doing the same thing it did last year, but last year you had names so this is going to
Yeah.
prove whether the system that they came up with is still viable as something to watch without people you actually know. Is it still going to be fun to watch with the timer involved?
Yeah. The names right now, Bryce Harper, your biggest. You got Javier Baez from the Cubs. He's in it. Freddie Freeman, new star for the Braves, but those Braves, are still they're not household names yet. Alex Bregman from the Astros is going to be in it. Kyle Schwarber from the Cubs. So you got two Cubs in it, and they're on either side of the bracket. So,
I mean, I will say this in defense of the Home Run Derby. The format last year that you mentioned with the clock and everything they did, it was fun.
Yeah, but you also knew the players. That's what I'm saying. It's like now you can be able to see whether that format actually works or not.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You know what? So with that in mind, because I forgot about that format. So
Yeah,
it's a good point.
it changes it up a little bit. Makes it a little bit more interesting.
I'm actually going to watch that tonight because I want to see, to Ricky's point, how it now translates to the no names. Because the format actually made it fun to watch last year.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. No, I think the format is a lot better. Now, the question is, should they really start considering, I don't know, would a Legends thing work? Is there something better they can do? Because just a lot of these guys that are, well, the thing is, a lot of these guys that are currently playing, and I get it, they don't want to screw up their swing.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why you're not going to see, Aaron Judge in this thing and Stanton.
Right.
They should it should be like the celebrity game for the NBA All-Stars, and bring in like NBA players, bring in like football players.
I think it'd be fun. Yeah.
Every team has a representative from either football or NBA.
I think basically you just want to see people that you know. Jesus Aguilar from the Brewers is not going to be like, oh, cool, let's see what he does. I mean, outside of Milwaukee, who cares?
Jesus who?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
This is the year of the home run, too. 20 players with at least 20 home runs.
Wowzer.
One of the big numbers from the first half of the season.
See, it's always weird you always wonder is home run hitting better or is pitching worse?
Well, I mean, they're talking about how many strikeouts there are, too. I mean, there's just been a mass amount of both. There's a select number of players with home runs, but then the strikeouts are through the roof as well this year.
Such a weird mix.
Yeah.
Well, maybe as a whole, the whole sport's getting better. Maybe because for the past couple of years, it's been a predominantly a pitcher's league. Mm-hmm. It's whoever had the best pitching staff, they were the ones that were going to win, as opposed to years ago in the 90s when it was just whoever had the best hitters, they were the ones that were going to win. It's the most jacks that you could be able to get. Yeah. So, maybe it's starting to even out.
Mm-hmm. Some of the big numbers out there, boy, it'd be nice to see J.D. Martinez. He's got 29 home runs.
I know.
You wonder oftentimes what happens when you sign a big contract, like he signed that $110 million deal. You're like, okay, you guys going to totally tank.
Usually it's downhill from there.
Kind of like Hassan Whiteside with the Heat.
Yeah. No, this guy's crushing it. 328, he's batting, 29 home runs. And the Red Sox are on pace to win 112 games.
Unbelievable.
Jeez. Yeah. Their franchise record is 105, and they go back a ways.
How the Yankees are behind them? How far behind them? There's a lot? Last time I checked, it wasn't that much.
It was 3.5, I think, last time I saw it.
Okay. All right. So that's not bad.
But, they're holding in there. Mm-hmm. Anything can happen. Got some positive numbers on the Marlins, though. In the month of June, they're actually 500 since June, 21-21.
Really?
Yeah.
That is shocking.
Yeah. Not bad. I mean, yesterday was pretty amazing because I was checking out some other stuff and watching the game with no sound, and they were down 5-0, and then I look up and I'm like, wait, what happened? Like, they were up. It was like 10-5. Marlins got the win yesterday. They were getting blasted by the Phillies, and then oddly enough, they go on this home run tear again.
They're like eight scores in 1 inning.
Right.
Yeah,
Like the fifth inning or something like that. They just went bonkers.
They did 8 runs in the 5th. I blink. I look up. I'm like, wait, how'd they get all those runs?
Yeah, what
It's
the hell
crazy.
just happened?
Yeah.
They're coming back, man. They're coming back.
I mean, we'll see what happens on the other side of the All-Star break, but I mean, they finished the first half of the season winning 5 of their last 7 games. They won their last 2 series against first-place teams in Milwaukee and Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. But what are they still 13.5 or 12.5 games outside of the first spot?
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not good. I mean, there's still 16 games under 500.
That's fine. Semantics.
Ooh, semantics.
They're gonna come back. They're gonna be fine.
Hey,
They're
they got
winning
JT
ways.
Real Muto in the All-Star game, all right?
Yeah, they still got the second worst record in the NL.
Culture change. It's happening.
Yeah, but I mean, you're seeing some optimism. I mean, they started 5-17.
It's true.
And then since June, okay, let's look at some positivity. Things are not bad. And even attendance. Sunday, 8,829.
Hey,
Look
now.
at that.
How about that? Yeah.
Take that, Jumbo Shrimp.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, they had been like drawing in like 5,200, and then they start winning a little bit. Look at that. They're now averaging 9,559 people a game.
Hey, now.
Holy
yeah,
guacamole.
that's right, huh?
Sooner, it's coming, man. The numbers are coming. They're gonna reach 10,000 in attendance, and they're gonna win like some games, and it's gonna be amazing.
They're going to win some games.
Some games.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good analysis by you.
Second half is gonna be
Belgium.
So exciting.
Exactly.
The Marlins have now won 4 consecutive home series. They're 8-4 in their last 12 games at Marlins Park, so they're turning it on.
No, that's good.
Yeah, doing some good stuff. Just have to see what happens.
Out of all the numbers that you could give for the first half of the season, the most surprising one is that the Marlins are 500 since the middle of June, right? I mean, that's
Yeah. Well, I mean, it shows some progress. I mean, there's some bright spots in pitching, some bright spots in hitting, and just see exactly what happens. See if they can hold on to it. Big question as to what they're going to wind up doing with Roger Dean Stadium. I guess the Marlins and Cardinals both halted their plans for that $100 million upgrade for the spring training facility. They're trying to keep up. You got Ballpark at the Palm Beaches. It's opening, and there's a lot of competition. And it does feel, when you go into Roger Dean Stadium, like it's feeling a little older.
Yeah.
Like it needs to pick it up a little bit.
I like the surrounding area. I've always liked the surrounding area there.
That's a big plus on it, yeah, which
Right.
the Ballpark at the Palm Beaches doesn't have. I mean, you got a couple cool bars that are around there and places to go with Abacoa Town Center.
Right.
And, some places need to get that. But they've got, apparently, the Palm Beach County Convention Center's got like a $100 million renovation project that's going on with that. So the county's only got so much money,
Tapped
stadium
out.
deals, they're tapped out. So no idea what's going to wind up happening with that. But they're trying to put it all together. So we'll see.
That's the one thing that's kind of unfortunate about this. It's literally nothing around the other ballpark.
I really was surprised. I thought that
you figured they would make it into like an area, you know what I mean?
Well, they've got a field that is just a little bit south right there on Military there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, somebody's going to put up a complex there with at least like a bar and restaurant, because even when spring training's not going on, you're still on Military Trail and it's a high traffic area, and
Sure.
you're attached to. I mean, I live on the back end of that. My house is, just on the other side of that. And if you had like a cool sports bar,
Right.
I'd be there all the time. I think it'd do pretty well. But that area is just kind of weird.
It is.
You just got some squirrely stuff that is kind of going on.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, you're
45th
very
Street.
nice to
Yeah.
say weird.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just kind
It's
of
downright friggin' terrifying over there. And I mean, to be honest,
Yeah.
if they were, I think that's partly the reason why. It's that if you're trying to create nightlife over there, it's scary.
But you predominantly play day games.
Yeah.
True.
It's not often. I mean, they don't have many night games. They have a few.
And you know what? I mean, look, you look at City Place. I mean, there are parts in City Place where you're out there at night, and you don't want to be in the wrong place of City Place.
You gotta
at
watch
night,
out.
City Place started real sketchy.
Right.
Well, because they mowed down crack houses in order to be able to build City
They
Place
did.
in the first
That's-
place.
Yeah, but that's what I would think would be the first start, of the Ballpark of the Palm Beaches over there. Is like, let's prop up some good stuff.
Right. They made it work there. Use that model. You
Right.
can bring some things over here by the 45th Street area military.
Yeah.
it's
Maybe
just
make it work.
a lot of remodeling to do over there. But the thing is that when I say nightlife, it's because if you have predominantly day games and that's going to be your draw in order to be able to bring people in there, you have to think about that when it's regular season and nobody's playing over there. They still have to have something that draws somebody to that area.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
So
why
it has to be nighttime, daytime, all the time.
That's why I'm kind of thinking, like, you've got a little bit of area just south of the stadium on Military. I think that's probably your better bet, getting away from 45th Street, because, yeah, you've got a lot that you'd have to do to kind of, like, really get that area
Yeah.
up to something that's good. But, maybe taking a chance on something in that strip mall there might work out, but I wouldn't want to be the guy putting my money into it.
No. No.
We're just throwing out the ideas here.
If anybody else wants to be an investor.
Uh-huh.
That's
Other
on you.
development, I got some good stuff. Are the Dolphins moving their training facility? What would they be doing with that? And they got a new kick-butt football facility. It's going to be coming into Belle Glade.
Really?
Yeah, I will tell you all about that as well coming up here next.
Be part of the show on Twitter at 640 The Hurricane, hashtag Kevin's Other Show.
Have you guys yet seen any of the flag football that they keep trying to run a little bit, push down your throat? It's the American Flag Football League.
Yeah, I follow him on Facebook.
Yeah, they're running a little bit now on the NFL Network.
Oh,
Right.
really?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to watch, honestly.
Yeah.
If you like offense, because that's really all it is.
Well, that's pretty, yeah. It's basically 7-on-7 with flags. But, the cool thing about it is the sensors that they've got in it. As with flag football, there's no tackling, no kicking. You just throw and run. It's 7-on-7. The quarterback's got 4 seconds to throw the ball, and they divide the field into 4 25-yard sections. So touchdowns less than 50 yards are worth 6 points. Scores for more than 50 are worth 7 points. So you got a lot of those just, it's basically backyard football. But, they're starting to get, some names that, and guys that played in the NFL not too long ago. Michael Vick is in it. Terrell Owens, Ocho Cinco, Seneca Wallace, just some of the stars that are playing.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, so they got some names.
I must be following the wrong one on Facebook.
Yeah,
I never saw
you
any of
are.
this stuff.
Yeah, no, this one's actually kind of like, this is kind of legit. It's pretty quick, too. Each half is 30 minutes. You got a running clock, except for the final 2 minutes of the second half.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you got to play it fast. And the cool thing about it, too, is, I don't know, these transmitters are amazing. It's like the same stuff, how they have, I was telling you about Topgolf.
Right.
They've got transmitters in the balls, and it'll tell you, like, where your ball goes if you get into the right hole.
Right.
While you're playing Topgolf, then you get, and it scores for you. You don't have to mess with the score. So if you get, like, tanked up and you're, like, jacking the ball, like, nobody can cheat because the sensors do it all for you. So it's kind of the same thing with this. So the quarterback, if they don't get a pass off in 4 seconds, the sensor goes off in the ball.
Wow.
Why can't they have these sensors in the NFL?
I wonder if they won't start. I mean, they're probably doing it here, seeing how it goes. But, this kind of like lets you know. And they also, I think, have sensors in the flag. So it'll tell you exactly where somebody's down. There's no question, when they get at somebody's flag in
That's
this
cool.
flag football. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens with it. I mean, they're trying a lot of experimental football stuff to see what we
That
can
could
get
be the
going.
reason why they're putting this on NFL Network. It's like the NFL's like, listen, we'll put you on our network, but listen, we got to try some of this stuff out with you guys and then see if it works.
Make them
the guinea pig.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
maybe hedge your bets a little bit too, because if it does become popular,
Yeah.
now you're ready. Kind of
Yeah, you're already invested in it.
right.
Yeah, last year they did kind of like a launch of it. They had Michael Vick on it with the Ocho Cinco, and on YouTube it's got more than 2 million views.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so some people are checking it out.
And I did see him, Vic, in this one, because I think it was a couple weeks ago I came across it. I'm like, what is this? Why is Michael Vick playing flag football? And it was interesting. I mean, they're doing some of the things that people have complained about with the NFL, which is the game is too slow, it takes too long. Well, now they have a running clock, it's fast paced.
Yep.
They have sensors and all their stuff.
Right.
With the NFL, you're still leaving up to 65-year-old guys to figure out where they're placing the ball. It's like, you had the technology. We've been saying that for years. Why are we not putting sensors in the ball to allow us to know, okay, is 4th and inches really 4th and inches, or is
Absolutely,
we're
yeah.
leaving it up to human error?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. To me, anything, and that's the same thing with like baseball
Right.
with umpiring. I don't know why they still have somebody calling balls and strikes when it can change.
You just have them there to verify it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of getting it right.
Flag football's doing it right.
This is all really odd, though. It's like when you look at their YouTube channel to see that they only have like 12,000 subscribers and like some videos only have like less than 500 views on it.
Really?
But then you're looking at the
Yeah.
names and like the first video comes up is Seneca Wallace leads Godspeed over Nate Robinson and Carlos Bulzer.
Yes, that's right.
And I'm like, What?
Yeah, yeah.
And then Ocho as well. And I'm like, there's massive players that are playing in this.
Maybe they're just not. I don't know. Maybe it's going to take putting on NFL Network and get some exposure, and then maybe people will check it out.
Yeah.
Listen, anything that's close to football is going to do pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, look, people are watching esports, so I mean,
True.
Yeah.
if that could work, this can't. Why not?
That's absolutely good.
Not only they're watching esports, but it's going to be on like major networks.
It's already on ESPN.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking a little bit about Hard Rock Stadium, they're putting up tennis courts around there. They just can't put anything fun up around there, though. We're talking about that with the ballpark of the Palm Beaches last segment, and what is it going to take? Because I mean, it would be really cool. Whenever I plan on going to a game at Hard Rock Stadium, I'm always like, okay, well, sometimes the tailgating's okay, or what are you going to do after a game? Because if you're traveling a little ways, you'd be like, okay, let's go someplace where we can chill. And honestly, I mean, aside from going to the Hard Rock Casino, there's really nothing that's around it. That's about the closest thing you can go check out.
Honestly, that's probably what they want. They're
Yeah,
like, well, it's
yeah.
on our way. Let's just go.
Probably. It's probably why they bought the naming rights.
Makes
They're
sense.
talking, too, about maybe the Dolphins might be moving their training facility from Nova Southeastern to outside the stadium because apparently they own some land that's right around there. And they're talking about dropping $75 million.
Yo.
Taxpayer money?
No, privately funded. It's Stephen Ross. That dude's got some cash. Honestly, I didn't fully get how big this cat was until I was up at the University of Michigan where my kid goes to school. Guy's name is on like 5 different buildings up there.
Really?
Oh, really?
All over the place.
Wow.
Yeah.
He is a billionaire, right? I believe he is.
Stephen Roth.
He probably was until he bought 10 buildings at Michigan. I don't know, but he's dropping. I mean, I think he funded a lot of the
He did.
refurbishment at Hard Rock Stadium, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like $500 million, and I mean, a good amount of it was.
I bet
was
he's
his money.
I bet he's dropping a lot of this out of his pocket.
I think you're probably right,
That's crazy.
isn't it? Though.
Well, I mean, they could turn around to Hard Rock and be like, listen, I spent this amount of money. You want people you want some reason for people to be by your hotel. Maybe you should drop some extra cash in order to be able to put this down.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Go to Aventura?
There's not
Nothing
much
over there.
around. And plus, I mean, getting out of that stadium, Hard Rock Stadium, is just a nightmare when you're coming out of like a crowded game or an event.
It is, yeah.
It's so hard to get out.
That's why it'd be nice to have a place to chill. I mean, some
Right.
people still tailgate afterwards. But
Oh, yeah. That's the only way you'd be able to survive that.
That's really it. I mean, otherwise you can go across the street and there's like strip malls over there with some restaurants, but there's no kind of big
Yeah.
sports atmosphere around the stadium.
Well, this makes sense for the Dolphins because right now they've got half of their personnel at the stadium, half of them are at the training facility. And so you can imagine, I'm sure if you want to talk to one department, you got to drive up the turnpike to go see them. So, they're talking about trying to get everybody in one place. They're looking at a couple other locations. They might even stay at Nova, maybe even in Miramar too. So we'll see what happens.
It does make sense. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been in Davie all these years, which is fine. But I mean, you're so far away, you're disconnected from
Yeah,
your
and
actual headquarters.
A lot of other NFL teams are doing the same thing, putting their training facility right by their stadium. So we'll see
There's-
that happen.
Do you ever see that hotel that's over there, Stadium Hotel?
No.
It's disgusting.
It
Really?
looks so gross. I just passed by the other day. I had to go down to Aventura.
Oh.
And that's disgusting.
Used to
Like,
be El Palacio, right?
was that
Yeah, I think
was,
so,
okay?
yeah.
Yeah, that place is like
Ew.
get rid of that damn thing. That is an eyesore.
Gnarly. People stay there, yeah.
That's what I said.
I had to go
was
pick
so
up
curious.
tickets in the lobby one time there, and it was just like, oh man, there's just so many crimes have been committed there.
It
So
looks
many
very
crimes.
seedy.
Oh man, it's,
Stadium hotel, and it's got like a horse and
Yeah.
some guy playing tennis and a football. It's like
Yeah.
it's really weird.
Should we make this like a punishment one time? Like if one of us
losers
a
got to
bet-
go stay at the El Palacio
Yeah.
or
No.
whatever it's called.
What are you?
Is it
Listen, you have
life-threatening?
children. You want to lose this?
You come home,
have children.
You come back with some kind of weird rash on your face.
As I'm saying, no.
Yeah.
You sleep in a bag while you're there.
Yeah, no, I would. You guys ever seen that stadium that they've got right there on Sunrise in Lauderdale? I mean, it's that tricked out, that Orange Bowl park. FAU had one of their practices there not too long ago. I mean, it's a really nice bomb-ass stadium. It's right there on Sunrise. They built it up. It's the Orange Bowl committee, and it's got like the Orange Bowl logo and everything on it.
Oh wow.
The Orange Bowl committee's teamed up with Palm Beach County, and they just broke ground for a $3 million renovation of an existing football stadium and field at Glades Pioneer Park. It's home to the Glades Youth Football League, and this is going to be great for that community. They are going to put like one of those synthetic turf fields out there. It's It's going to have an electronic scoreboard, an entry monument,
Wow.
fencing, walkway, signage. Pretty much everything you see at that park right there, Sunrise in Fort Lauderdale, they're going to now have in the Glades.
That's
Good.
awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be called Orange Bowl Field at Glades Pioneer Park.
That's cool.
So, yeah, a place that's a hotbed of football. And really, I mean, what they need is just some supplies and people pouring some money into that community.
Yes, for a long time, that's what they needed. And I
Yeah.
mean, hopefully, maybe this is something a step in the right direction for them. Because you're right. I mean, so much talent comes out of that area.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that it has been for so long without the proper facilities. I mean, it's just raw talent that comes out of there.
Yeah, but to build up and have something nice is going to be pretty cool to
Yes.
see. Coming up here, we talked on Friday about what should be done with Papa John and his punishment
Jeez.
for his comments that he made on a conference call. He now is throwing some shade at the people who put him on the conference call in the first place. And if you didn't hear the end results of what they did with Papa John Stadium, we'll get to all of that for you coming up next.
Yep, he's here too. It's Kevin's Other Show, right here on 640 The Hurricane.
Debate is on about whether or not University of Louisville has handed John Schnatter the right punishment for his use of the N-word in a conference call. That story blew up. He was on with this, I think, marketing company that was talking to him about how he had handled the NFL protests and trying to help him through that. And in the course of that, somebody used the N-word. I think he then used the N-word, basically saying that's not a word that we should use here. But then they took it and let it all out. And now John Schnatter, after, taking a big hit. I mean, Papa John's lost the name right of the stadium.
Yeah.
At the University of Louisville. It's now going to be called Cardinal Stadium. The pizza chain had a plummet of 5.9% in shares. Wiped out about $96.2 million off its market value.
That's rough.
Whoa.
Took almost a $100 million hit because of this story. And John Schnatter has now been removed from all marketing materials having to do with Papa John's.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, so you don't know, who is Papa John anymore. They're going to try to make you forget.
Are they going to change the name of the pizza chain?
How
Can
are
you
they
do
supposed
that?
to do that? They can. They can do whatever the hell they want. They could just change it to Papa's if they wanted to.
I guess.
Just take John out of it. It's a possibility.
It'd be tough to do. Now, here's John Schnatter's response, basically saying that he was blackmailed from this whole press conference call that had happened.
Yeah, they tried to extort us, and we held firm, and they took what I said and they ran to Forbes, and Forbes printed it, and it went viral.
His whole statement said, they said, we've got this issue. In fact, they even said if you don't, they want $6 million to make it go away.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not paying you $6 million. And they made it pretty clear that if the words were, if I don't get my bleeping money, I'm going to bury the founder, said one of the executives. They took what I said and they ran to Forbes, and Forbes printed it, and it went viral. So according to John Schnatter, in a sense, it almost sounds like he's trying to say that they goaded him into saying the N-word. Then when he did, they said, okay, we've got this on tape or whatever. We're going to need $6 million to not go running with this to the media.
It seems odd. So the service that actually he was talking to is this company called Laundry Service. And they are a PR marketing company, social media, regular media, this, that, and the other. But they work with massive companies. We're talking Nike, Amazon, what was a couple other ones? Hennessy. I guess that's a smaller one, but still. Beats, like the huge companies. If they try to bait him into this, and that's proven, or even if this comes out that was a situation that they were going to try and blackmail him, that company's dead in the water. I mean, you think about how many companies that this company represents. If that was your company that was being represented by Laundry Services, you'd be terrified too.
Right?
Well, I mean, he's got to have the proof. I mean, if he proved this and said, look, I, in a sense, was race baited, they kind of, and which is just, and I continue to say, look, it's just a word that really nobody should ever use in any kind of example in any kind of way.
No,
because
100%.
You're going to wind up, in today's culture, you're going to wind up with some kind of issue by saying it. So, yeah, shame on you for that. But, I mean, like you said, that's a $100 million loss. And if he did have, if everything was being recorded, which maybe they did and how it got leaked, I don't know. Are there manuscripts? Is there audio of this conference call that happened. And
That's
if,
the one thing we haven't seen. Is
if he
any
could
audio.
release that and make it look like, they were just trying to get him to say, and he just is an example, used it there. I don't know. Does he have a lawsuit against this marketing company saying, or are people going to be like going, look, dude, it's all on you? I mean, so far, are the punishments too harsh? I mean, you're talking about $100 million. He paid $20 million in gifts to get his name on the stadium. So in a sense, $120 million are gone because Papa John's name is no longer on the stadium.
Well, I mean, the stocks, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, like the stocks are run by public opinion anyway. So, I mean, like however you feel about the company is how the stocks are going to move up and down.
But it's gone that way because of what was released.
Granted.
Right.
Yeah.
Granted. But it's not like somebody said, okay, we're going to dock you $100 million. It just so happened that the people that were dealing with the company said this is not something that we want to be a part of anymore and sold or devalued their actual stock they had.
Right now, Papa John's is completely toxic. I mean, on First Take today, this is what they said about Papa John's.
They're calling it the official pizza of the neo-Nazis.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
I mean, here you are. I mean,
Ouch.
it's to the point where people are going to be ashamed to order Papa John's. They'll be scared if a Papa John's car is out front of their house. I mean, this is, it really is that completely toxic. In certain neighborhoods, people would have that fear of being going, really?
Yeah.
You're ordering Papa John's pizza? You're supporting that guy? That's really where it is. So $100 million, I think, is only the beginning of this. This is the kind of story that really could completely destroy Papa John's pizza.
Do you think it goes that far? Where
Yes,
the company just
I think it could.
I think it's a massive rebrand that's about to happen, and then they're just going to be just fine.
Unless
and
they
I
can-
guarantee
you
if you go
do.
to your local
But-
Papa John's, there's still people in there ordering pizza.
There will still be.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, the massive losses that
it's
they're going to
big.
take.
It's big. It's a big cut out of the company.
That's a good point too, though. I mean, it was someone who's, if they're on the fence with different issues and they feel like, you know what, I don't want my neighbors to see a Papa John's vehicle in front of my house. They're going to think poorly of me. A lot of people might think that too.
I mean, I think $100 million is just the beginning of the losses.
Oh, it's a big shot, but this is the problem: is that it's a franchise. So the franchisees, there's a board of directors. There's the whole lot. It doesn't just go with him. So he takes his name out of the whole entire situation. They can still be able to turn this around and make this okay because he doesn't speak for everybody.
And that's what I'm saying. You almost have to, at this point, consider changing the name of the
yeah,
entire chain.
absolutely. But
I mean,
to think that this is going to make the whole company as a whole completely go down the tubes. I don't see it happening because it is a gigantic company. We're not talking about We're not talking about the Red Hen in West Virginia. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like this is very different.
But it's almost like they need a complete
They need an overhaul.
rebranding. And Papa John, his name, his likeness, everything's got to go away from it. Somehow they've got to figure out how to spin this positively. Because, I mean, barring a story that comes out that makes it look like he was baited into saying this and he was then extorted and blackmailed, trying to make it look bad. And there's still people going to be going, shame on you. The word should not even ever come out of your mouth in the first place.
For sure. And look, even if he was blackmailed, which the clip is kind of interesting because just from the tone of his voice, it sounds like he's telling the truth. But I mean, I'm no expert. It just kind of sounds
Who
like
knows?
it.
Well, I mean, whether he is or not, he's got to have a better story than that, and he's
Right.
got to get people to then believe it. To say, okay, look, it's going to be hard for him to get people to believe that he's not like a racist.
And that's what I'm saying. Whether or not it's true really doesn't matter. You said the word,
Yeah.
and now you are, reaping the punishment.
Gonna be
That's what
tough.
happens. Don't say it.
Yep.
Don't stop saying this word, everybody.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's not that hard.
Paul Feinbaum just re-upped multi-year contract extension with ESPN. There were some talks that he was courted by Fox Sports, Big Ten Network. Anybody and everybody was trying to get a hold of Paul Feinbaum.
Smeagol.
Yeah.
It's the embodiment
I can
of
tell you,
Smeagol.
when he first came out, I didn't know how I felt about Paul Feinbaum. It was tough for me, because he's such an Alabama homer and
Yes.
SEC, and, I was really going through a big hate issue with the SEC, and that era of, them just touting their dominance was pretty annoying to me. But I got to tell you, I think I like Paul Feinbaum a lot, and I would arguably say, could he be the best in college football? Now, I
is-
still love Kirk Herbstreit.
Yes.
He's right up there with me. I think Herbstreit's my number one. Feinbaum's probably two. And then, oddly enough, I love the Bear, man.
Bear is good.
Yeah.
Felica.
We had him on the show
Chris
once, actually.
Felica, yeah. And he's a Miami Hurricane guy,
That's right.
too. He's a Miami boy.
That's right.
So, yeah, I would say that's my top three.
Man, that's tough. I put Herb Street number 1 too. Even though he's Ohio State, I'm okay with that.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll separate the two.
Okay, all right. Appreciate the love.
But no, he is. I mean, he's been consistently good for years. You got to put Lee Corso up there, right? I mean,
yeah,
just for his character.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit of a step,
right?
But vintage Lee Corso.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably yeah. I think he's had a fine bomb. Yeah, I think if you had to do the Mount Rushmore, you definitely got to put Coach Corso up.
He's got to
there.
be up there.
Yeah, so Feinbaum's going to be around a lot more if you like him on ESPN. He's not going anywhere. Want to check us out? We are on YouTube. You can go find us under the KVJ Show, Kevin's other show as well for the podcast. Just look it up by name. And on Twitter, go and follow us right now.
You listened to him on the KVJ Show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's other show on 640 The Hurricane.